Welcome to episode 85 of Let's Play Civilization 3. Last time, don't remind me about last time. Oh well, it's not that big of a deal. Anyway, what I wanted to do was clarify for those who might not have known why I was so upset last time. But it has something to do with... I'll tell you in a minute, because right now what we're going to do is plant a spy. This is the first time we've done this so far. Something we could have done a while ago, but I never bothered until now. We're putting a spy into Germany. Now, that doesn't always work, but today it did. And you might be asking, why are you putting a spy into Germany? And what does that have to do with being mad at the Chinese for building the United Nations? Well, I'll tell you. Okay, but first I want to show you one benefit of having a spy in enemy territory is that you can see the size of their military. You see they have 34 Panzers, but if I scroll down to how many tanks I have, you will see that I have 74 tanks. So my offensive capability is twice what theirs is, so don't worry about those Germans. But, okay, here's what happens. When you build the United Nations... the person who owns it has the option to... Okay, I'll get back to you in a minute on that, but first I want to show you the spaceship. You might be thinking, spaceship? What spaceship? This is a spaceship you will send to Alpha Centauri. And since the Germans haven't started building theirs either, we don't have to worry about that. But, yes, one of the disadvantages of doing post-commentary is that... I get ahead of myself on the game. But now to put all that I just showed you together, when you build the United Nations, the person who owns it has the option of having an election for Secretary General. Now, the competition is only between the two largest empires, which in this case would be me and the Germans. So, if you are China, you have no chance of winning with it. Therefore, you're not even going to bother holding the election. So, what would have happened if I had built it? I would have had the election. And in order to win the election, you need a majority, not just a plurality. So we would have needed 4 civilizations to vote for me. Now, every civilization gets 1 vote, regardless of their size. And since there are 6 of them, I would have needed 4. I'm pretty sure I could count on the Koreans and the Arabs for voting for me. The Germans would have voted for themselves, and the Celts probably would have voted for the Germans or abstained. And the Chinese, I think they would have voted for me. They might have abstained. But if those 3 civilizations, the Arabs, the Koreans, and the Chinese all rooted for me, I would have won. But now, since the Chinese have it, there's not going to be any chance that they're going to have the election. The only way that we can still have the election is by taking Beijing from them, and we will control the United Nations, and then we will have the election. Now you might be wondering, what does that have to do with Germany, their spaceship, and spies? Okay. Sending a ship to Alpha Centauri is another way to win. In order to do that, you first need to research spaceflight, which we haven't even done yet, and the Germans have, so that we're behind in that regard. Okay. Now, besides that, you need to research spaceflight. You need to build the small wonder known as the Apollo program. And yes, thank you. I'm very glad I'm connected to the internet. You can go away now. But anyway, you need to build... After you build the small wonder of the Apollo program, there are 10 different spaceship parts that you can build. And some of them require even further advances. And once you build all 10, you can launch your ship, and you win. However, I'm I'm pretty sure there's no way I can beat the Germans in a space race. So therefore, I need to win with the United Nations before the Germans win at the space race. Starting to understand now? Yes. Yes, you are, and very good. And the reason why I wanted to put a spy in Germany, besides understanding the size of their army, you also need a spy to see the progress of their space race. Now, it hasn't even started yet, so that's good, but you always want to take precautions. Alright, so I think I've tied up all loose ends there. You know why I was upset, how you can win with the United Nations, and how I can't win at this time, what the spaceship is, how you can win with the spaceship, and why I need to win with the United Nations before Germany wins with the spaceship. Alright, now back to the game which I've been neglecting, and you see a naval battle between the Celts and the Arabs, and the Arabs have lost. Well, their battleship is close enough to my territory that they can probably swim aboard, and we'll take them in. They're our allies after all. And we need the vote for the United Nations, remember. Alright, so here come the Germans. I just hope the Koreans last long enough to cast a vote. Now, okay, more Celtic tanks out of nowhere. Wonderful. Now, you remember that I said I would be waiting until after the Celts were destroyed. But you know what? We fought a two-front war against the Mongols and the Celts, and the Celts were much stronger then than they are now. I believe that we can fight a two-front war. Just give me a couple turns, and I promise you we will invade the Chinese before we are even done invading the Celts. Okay, what just happened is, since I could no longer build the United Nations, I'm going to build a military academy. Now, somebody in the comments a few videos ago asked me why I don't have a military academy cranking out armies yet, and to be quite honest, I didn't think that, in my experience, that armies were quite worth the very long production time. Maybe a few, but not tons. I might be wrong about that, but now that the military academy is the only thing I can build without wasting a whole bunch of shields, it will be something good to have, and I think I will put it to good use. Alright. So, now you know what's on deck. We are going to be preparing for a two-front war. A very brief two-front war, because look at the Chinese. They have 7 cities. 9 if you include the 2 Mongol ones that are pretty much useless to them. Also, I want to get rid of that ugly little hole in my empire of Chinese territory in the east. It's an eyesore. It really is. Alright, but I'll do something about that soon. And also, remember I said I was attacking east to west? What city is the furthest east remaining in the Celtic Empire? Well, I'll leave you to think about that, but everyone be warned. A major conflict is coming soon. That's a promise. Alright. So, moving these guys out, and I think that will be the end of this video, so I hope you enjoyed it. And I'll see you again on episode 86. So long, everybody.